Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to roast peanuts in two ways without the use of an oven. The first method is the salt method. Of course, like the name implies, you need salt for this method. So you get your fresh peanuts. The quantity of peanuts you need depends on you. So I didn't measure the quantity of these peanuts. Get a strainer and a bowl like this. Put the bowl underneath it. Then pour your peanuts into the strainer. And then the next thing you want to do is pour some water on top of the peanuts. Make sure that the water gets to every part of the peanut. So what you want to do is to like juggle the strainer a little bit to ensure that the water gets to every part of the peanut like this. Please note that I divided the fresh peanuts into two portions for this. I used each portion for each of the method. So now after juggling the strainer to make sure that the water gets to each part, into your pot or pan, you go ahead and pour some salt. You want to ensure that the salt covers every part of the bottom of the pan and then heat up the salt for about 5 minutes. After that, go ahead and pour your peanuts into the hot salt. Don't worry, the moisture from the peanut is going to be absorbed by the salt. And also, since the salt is hot already, the salt is going to cook the peanuts. In order for it to cook evenly, you are going to stir while it is cooking. Also, you want to ensure that this is done on moderate heat. The heat should not be too high and should not be too low. So you stir while it is cooking on moderate heat. Do not bother about the salt sticking to the bottom of the pan. As it gets hot, it's going to come off the bottom of the pan. Your major goal is for the peanut to cook evenly. So the hot salt is going to make it cook evenly while you're stirring it. As you can see, the color of the salt has changed and has become sand-like in nature. This is because it has absorbed all the moisture from the peanuts and it has cooked it thoroughly. So you're going to keep stirring for about 12 minutes and by now your peanut is completely done. So what you want to do is turn off the heat. If you want it to maybe cook a little bit further, maybe you want it to become more brown in color, depends on your preference. You can keep on stirring it even while the heat is gone. And then in your strainer again, you're going to pour the contents, the peanuts and the salt into the strainer because you want to separate the salt from the peanuts. So you juggle it again in order to separate the peanuts from the salt. And after this, you pour your roasted peanuts onto a tray and allow it to cool. Your peanut hardens once it cools down and it's easier to peel off the skin. So once it cools, you go ahead and peel off the skin like this. And there you have your roasted peanuts. At the end of this video, before the end of this video, I'm going to tell you which of the two methods I prefer. So you go ahead and pour your peanuts into an airtight container and store it for as long as you want. You're storing an airtight container because you do not want air to penetrate into it so that it doesn't get soft. So the second method is unsalted. Into your pot or pan, pour your peanuts, your fresh peanuts, and add some water. Do not add too much water. You don't need a lot of water. Just add little water and cover the pot a little. Do not cover it completely because you want the moisture to escape quickly. And once the moisture evaporates from the pan, you begin to stir it. This method takes longer time. This is because you are roasting directly on the pan. There's no salt, there's nothing on the base to cook it, so it takes a bit more time than the salted method. So you are going to keep stirring because you don't want it to get burnt. You keep stirring. In this method, you need low heat because it's directly on the pan and you don't want it to get burnt. So you're not going to use a moderate or high heat. Ensure that you do this on low heat. Remember, you're also stirring it because you want it to cook evenly. So this process takes about 40 minutes. Compared to the first method that took about 12 minutes, the first method is faster because it is done on moderate heat and the salt is already hot and it helps the peanut to cook faster and evenly. So this method is longer, takes about 40 minutes for it to get evenly cooked. So after this is done, you pour it onto a tray and allow it to cool. Once it cools, you can then begin to peel the skin and there you have your unsalted peanuts. If for health or personal reasons you don't take salt, then you should go with the second method. For me, I prefer the salt method because it gives it more flavor and is crunchier. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Kindly subscribe, like, comment and share. Thank you. Bye.